welcome to this week's CSD live stream. My name is Carl Svensson Dunger. I'm here to answer your fantasy questions for the next half hour, 45 minutes or so. So let's see what we got. Let's give it a minute to see where the questions have come in from. Let's see that the stream is working well. Okay, everything seems to be up. Give it a second. Make sure people know we're live before we start answering questions. Let's do like this. There we go. Sorry for taking a little time. I want to make sure that people at least have an opportunity to get into the stream before I start answering questions. But I think it's fair to say that we should get going before it gets too late. So let's start with the first question of the day, which is Alshon Jeffrey or Adam Thielen. And that question is from Andres Villavincent. I'm sorry about the pronunciation. At Andres SV08 on Twitter. And what do we have here? We have roughly the same projection, roughly the same floor, a little high floor for Alshon, higher ceiling for Thielen, but the high probability of outscoring the projection for Thielen. So I'm gonna stick with Thielen on this one. Let's do what we did last week and take a picture for Andres, so you know what I believe, and let him know that I prefer Adam Thielen over Alshon Jeffrey this week. So that was the first question of the day. Thank you, Andres. Then we have David Tail. He's wondering if I have any suggestions for his team. His team looks like this. We got Jared Goff as quarterback, Carlos Hyde as running back, Kenyon Drake as second running back, Doug Baldwin as wide receiver number 1. Baldwin. There we go. Brandon Cooks, Austin Seferian Jenkins, Leonard Fournette. That's the starting lineup with Matt Bryant at kicker. And the defense is the New England Patriots. So let's see what he has on the bench. Let's make a little mark so people understand what we're doing. Blake Bortles. I'm gonna take a small guess that I prefer Jared Goff, and that is correct pretty quickly. So let's mark him red. The reason that I don't like Blake Bortles, I don't think you can see with that red is not too good. That might be better. The reason I don't like Bortles, he has a lower floor. The projection is a little higher, but the likeliness or the probability of him reaching or outscoring the projection is only 61 compared to Goff's 11.6 and 92 probability of scoring higher than 11.6. So there's only 8% chance that he'll score lower, as you see with the risk of 11.6. So that's a pretty stable floor. So of course I'm gonna go with him. We have Matt Forte, who is questionable, and I don't feel too comfortable starting a questionable player, but I have not read news about him today, so it might be okay. We got Jerry McKinnon. He only spells with one R. There we go. Corey Coleman, Ryan Grant, Robert Woods is out, if I'm not mistaken. Steven Anderson, do I even have him? Yes, I do have him in my database. And we got Baltimore DST. Okay, so let's look at the DSTs first. 6.3 projection, 5.9. Much lower probability, much high floor. They're facing a pretty good team, but the ball, I would still roll with the Ravens just for the sheer firepower they have on that defense. I still like the Ravens. Let's green mark them. And what else do we got? We got Goff green marked. Yes, he's starting. Carlos Hyde. Would I change Carlos Hyde from Matt Forte? No, not really. Probability is too high of outscoring 8.4. Floor is much higher. Carlos Hyde, same with. Yeah, we all know that Drake's numbers kind of changed halfway in, so we're still starting him. I don't see. It could be, but then he has Fournette over McKinnon. Yeah, so you gotta stick with him. Yeah, the only change I would do is put the Ravens DST in, but that's my preference. Let's let David know. The only change I would do is put the Ravens in. Still trust them more. Thank you, David. Let's get the third question going. This person doesn't got a name, but he got waves. Let's get this gone. There we go. What is Waves' question? He needed help for his playoff game. He was wondering if he should start Evan Ingram or Jimmy Graham. And he's also wondering about, also already have Baldwin starting, and would you go Jags or Bengals? Cincinnati, Bengals, or Jacksonville Jaguars. Did I just delete all my formulas? Yes, I did. That was a rookie mistake. Whoops. There we go. Jackson. And what else? Evan Ingram and Jimmy Graham. There we go. Okay. I would start the Jags. Same with the Ravens. Still trust them more. And 7.5, much higher floor, roughly the same ceiling. I would still start Graham, just because the floor is so much higher. I prefer to get 4.9 points if Graham sucks compared to getting 2.2 if Ingram sucks. So the safety of Graham is what's driving my thought process here. Thank you, Waves, for that question. And now we have Matthew Stafford and Jameis Winston from Eric. Who to start? Floor, much higher. Projection, a little bit higher. Probability, much higher. Ceiling, Winston, but even with the hand injury, I'm going Stafford. I don't even feel the need to green mark. It's only one player. Let's let Eric know that I prefer Stafford this week. Also, hi, hello, and welcome to newly arrived people in the stream. You can put questions in the live chat. I'll keep an eye on it, and you can also post questions at CSD Fantasy on Twitter. In case you have any start sit questions, you can put 2 players against each other, even more if you want to, or a whole team, and I'll give you the full numerical breakdown of all the players that you have questions about. Let's go with the next one. Who would be my top fantasy pick next season? Oof. That is from Dan Harvey. who would be my top pick? Who is my highest ranked wide receiver right now? Or highest ranked running back? Either one of them. So let's do a quick look, because it's still gonna be Bell, not DJ with the injury. It's gonna be Bell or Elliott. I don't think Alvin Kamara will get that high. Let's look at Ezekiel Elliott and Le'Veon Bell. The receiving core is difficult to say. Let's put Antonio Brown in there, because I feel like he would probably be my #1 pick. No. You can ignore the score projection on this one. Just look at the floor and the ceiling. So we have Elliott with a 30-point ceiling, though. Even though I like to draft the highest floor, which would be Bell. But with that ceiling, I'll have to go Ezekiel Elliott as my first round. If I get the #1 overall pick, I'm picking Ezekiel Elliott, even though his off-field issues. But I hope he can come back even stronger. It also depends a little bit how he looks when he comes back. If he gained more weight off the field this time, like when he hasn't been playing, I'm gonna be a little concerned with his personality. So I might go Antonio Brown in that case. But let's, in case you're not listening, Harvey, Elliott for me as my #1 pick next year. Fun question though. I like it. Thank you. I'm gonna leave it a like. What else do we have here? Oh, Doug Martin or Jermaine Kearse. Doug Martin. I'm pretty sure I know what this is gonna be. Yeah, but the 5% probability of reaching 11.4. Yeah, Jermaine Kearse for me too. I saw that Kyle Richardson, who's by the way fantastic on Twitter. You can look him up at Critch1532, one of the great follows on Twitter. Be sure to check him out. He's a fantastic follow. And by the way, welcome to the chat again and the live stream. This is CSD Fantasy taking questions about anything in general with fantasy, but mostly starts with a question. But we had a big one, which was going to be my first pick overall next year, which was Ezekiel Elliott a minute ago. So you can answer almost you can ask almost anything, and I'll answer as best as I can. Okay, let's look at another area here where I have questions lined up in my inbox on Twitter. Let's just make sure that I answered everything in my notifications that I said I was going to answer. Give me a second. Ooh, scrolling. I answered that one. And that, okay, good. Then we can move on to the inbox. Looks like Ertz is no go. Steven Anderson or Trey Burton or Steven Anderson. Okay, both have a floor with below points. Score projection is still a little higher, better. Steven Anderson. I don't want to spend too much time on that one. They're pretty even, but they're not super fun players. Too bad. Anderson for me, but still close. It's not a big discrepancy between the two players. That was from Sean, by the way. And we got Gregory. Richard Matthews. Or Kenny Stills at flex from Gregory. I have a soft spot for Richard Matthews. The same probability though but it's so close. But the game flew. I am. Coming back from an injury, I'll have to go Stills today with medical like, not that it's a concern, but he has been, when he's on the field, he is the Titans' #1 guy. I'll have to go with Stills. That's when it's this even. They have both upside and downside. I will go Stills because of the injury from last week. Good question though. I like the ones where we need to think a little bit and not just look at the numbers, look at the whole picture. What else? He has Tennessee, Titans, and Los Angeles Rams. Oh, and he also have Buffalo Bills. What defense would I start? I would still start the Rams. Philadelphia's offense looked mortal against a good defense. Any tight end replacements? It's difficult to just narrow it down. I'm not really sure what's available in your league or what you're picking, Gregory, so I'll have to see if you're still there. Oh, he also says he has Wentz as quarterback against the Rams, so I guess he's not really hoping for picks or points, but then he's hoping for points and picks. So that's unfortunate. But you can hope for yards, and then they stopped him at, I don't know, the 50 all the time. He keeps going 50 now. But if you give me If you give me 2-3 tight end options, I'll give you some numbers on it. I think that's pretty good. I know the live stream from last week was a little long, so I was trying to keep this to around 30 minutes. So I'm trying to keep the tempo up a little bit. I hope that's okay with everybody. That was Sean. We answered Sean. We answered Gregory. Okay. Let's see. More questions coming in. Dan Harvey actually, he prefers Alvin Kamara. Okay. That's interesting though. Like, even I know he's been a beast. But do we trust that offense to stay exactly the same next year and keep producing the way they've been doing this year? They've been very inconsistent in the past, except with the passing game. Feel like you never know with Sean Payton and the Saints. But he's a good player and a good pick. I would not spend the first overall pick on him though. I would spend a low first round pick on him. Here we go. We got McKinnon or Murray. That's pretty fun though. Picking between the two. Oof. This is a little bit of a toss-up though. Oosh. I say McKinnon. It's because he's more likely to outscore 8 points than Murray is of outscoring 9. That's still, it's super close. He says also 1 point PPR, then definitely McKinnon. Then it's just close, not super close. Okay. Next question. Let me look one up. Here we go. We got a double question from Rilla. We got Mike Evans versus Michael Crabtree. I like Crabtree in the playoffs. I think it's gonna be Crabtree for me, just based off a video I did yesterday that you might want to check out. You can find links to it on my YouTube. It's about the 5 best fantasy receivers for the playoffs for the 3 games combined. And then he also asks about Derek Carr or Phillip Rivers, and if you have seen, I've done similar stuff for quarterbacks, and I've been pretty high on Phillip Rivers. So yeah, as you can see, I will go Rivers. I will go Crabtree with the projection. It's kind of close though, but the ceiling outweighs it, and I know was a little closer than I expected with Evans. I might have been a little too rash here, too quick to judge. I'm still gonna go with Crabtree. I feel like he's going to be good these playoffs, looking at his opponents. That was from Rilla. What else do we got here? We got another tweet in the inbox. Here we go, the tight ends from Gregory. Trey Burton. Cleveland rookie, is that David Njoku? And Eric Ebron. Oof. I've been burned by him so many times. And Jermaine Gresh. Is that how he spells? Yeah, okay, good. You need 1. Ebron has the highest projection, but a pretty low. 86 is good. What is it? 86 and 2.3. They have the best floors. Joker has the best ceiling too. Let's move them up here. Let's get it cleaned up for Gregory. There we go. I would start the Cleveland rookie. Starting Njoku in that group. I think I've had a similar question earlier this week with Njoku and Burton, and I said Njoku that time too. I like the ceiling. I also like the projection with the probability, because it's a probability over 80% is darn good. Thank you for that, for the tight ends, Gregory. It really helps me a lot when you give me some suggestions. Thank you. Okay, PPR. We got from Jeff in the chat. Welcome, Jeff. Glad to have you here. We got Austin Severin Jenkins, Cameron Brate, I'm guessing Case Keenum and Josh McCown. Then got these 5 standard. Gotta start 2 running backs, 1 flex. Howard, Carlos Hyde, Alex, Golden Tate. And I unfortunately don't have any numbers prepared for Josh Gordon, so he's gonna show up blank. But if you need points and you want to gamble, go with him. If you want to be a little safe, don't. But you know, the bigger the balls. So I don't want to provide any numbers for him because the sample size is just too small. It wouldn't be fair. The numbers would be very skewed. So I'm just gonna leave him blank and talk about the tight ends instead. Brait has the high projection, roughly the same probability, much higher ceiling, roughly the same floor. So I'm starting Brait over Jenkins. Hi Jordan, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining us. I'll get to your question in a second. McCown over Keenum. I'm pretty sure I've had this question again before, and I said McCown that time, so I'm gonna stick to my answer the first time. He has a little higher score projection, much higher floor, roughly the same ceiling, same probability, which make it a pretty easy choice. And then let's double check for the last. You got 5 players in stand scoring. We got to start 2 running backs and 1 flex. Okay. Yeah, I'm starting Carlos Hyde first. Like him. He has a decent projection with a good probability of outscoring the projection. So 70% chance that he'll score more than 8.4 points compared to 11.5 and 30. Yeah. Alex Collins has a lower score projection. Starting Jordan Howard over Collins. And then yeah, I'm Jeff, if you want to go balls, I say go Gordon over Collins. Otherwise, if you want a little bit more safety, go Collins. But that's totally up to you. I'm a little risk averse at times, so I would go Collins myself. But I know a lot of auto plays like to go big or go home, so they would have gone Gordon. Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the question. I like those big questions. I really do. Thank you. I'm glad you're here in the stream chat. Jordan, for you, we got for my flex and RB2, I have Burkhead and Jamal Williams and Gio and BPR. Gio Bernard's number is gonna be again a little skewed. Oh, he's not Gio Bernard. He's Giovanni Bernard. Because these numbers showcase him with at least Joe Mixon or, losing his name, Jeremy Hill. So looking at him, I would start him even though his numbers are kind of shit right here. But with the situation we know, I would start him. And then you said Burkhead and Jamal Williams. I think I know the answer to this already, but let's take it up on the screen. Yeah, I would start Rex Burkhead and Giovanni Bernard. The reason here, Jamal Williams, he's been good, but now Aaron Jones is back too, and Burkhead has been better than good. So I'll say start Burkhead and Bernard. In a regular scenario, I would not have started Bernard with that 5% probability, but it is numbers that are impacted by him being a third and a second guy in that offense. And then when you say it's PPR, we know that he's a good pass catcher. I hope that answers the question, and thank you for asking it. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. it was a good question. The Gio Bernard one has been popping up this week, and it's difficult to assess it. I'm looking to implement something next year for the projections, where if you go from running back number 2 to running back number 1 in a team, the numbers will change up on you. But I haven't really figured that out. I'm also working on a model when if you're a wide receiver and your starting quarterback goes down. But that's something for the future. Good question. Thank you, Jordan. Jeff, you have one more question. You can have as many questions as you want, by the way. One more question. One running back, Doug Martin or Derrick Henry. I think I know this one too by heart. Or Mike Davis. Do I have Mike Davis? I hope so. No. Is his name Mike Davis or Michael Davis? Give it a second. Oh, he's yeah, the Seahawks guy. Yeah, I do not have any numbers for him, unfortunately. This is kind of the same as when Josh Gordon, unfortunately. I do have around, yeah, if you see up here, you see I have 425 players in my database, but some guys just slip through cracks. I'm sorry. But you want a one running back. Yeah, same as with Josh Gordon though. And I would go Derrick Henry, because the 5% probability for reaching 11.4. That's not too good. His floor is a little higher, but it's still not whole. Derrick Henry feels like his trends have been going upwards a little bit. Now Murray looked good the last game, but so Henry for safety and Davis for balls. I'll say that's my assessment. I hope that's good enough. Okay. Robert asked about McKinnon and Murray before. He needs something big, because he had Kamara that went out with the concussion. That just sucks, man. But the fantasy gods are they like you to cry. They want you to cry. That's how they get going. Yeah, okay, you're going Henry. Yeah, I would probably go Henry myself. I've never trusted since Lynch left Seattle. I haven't trusted their running backs. Feels like that's a hornet's nest. You never know what's going to come out. It's been sort of the same with New England until a few weeks back, when every one of them just started scoring like crazy. Let's see, I think I had a question at another place here. I don't want to miss anything in the chat though. Yeah, we had Stephon Diggs or Marvin Jones. Oh, that's not his name. Marvin Jones and Dak Prescott or Jimmy. How the freak does he spell Garoppolo? I don't think that's... Anyone know how he spells Garoppolo? Garoppolo. There we go. He has no projection. Interesting. Yeah, let me actually don't do this one here, because I do have them in another. That's not where I wanted to go. Let's bring that up on the stream. I wrote an article where I analyzed the top fantasy quarterbacks for this week. You can also check out the top fantasy playoff receivers up here. But it would go, I have Dak Prescott as my highest ranked quarterback this week. I was pretty sure something went wrong with Jimmy G's in the spreadsheet, but he's not even top 15. No. Okay, so Dak over Garoppolo. The Giants give up too many points to quarterbacks not to start Dak. Is it your friend that's asking about Stephon Diggs and Marvin Jones too, Jeff? Or was that just a coincidence? Because that's crazy then. Let's get this in case Fred is not watching this. Oh, I forgot to look at this. I will go Marvin Jones and Dak. Dak attack. Yeah, that's kind of creepy actually. No, not creepy, but it's interesting. People seem pretty high on starting Garoppolo though. He doesn't have that many weapons. Seem a little. Yeah, he's a good quarterback. I think he's gonna be good, but I want a little bit more reliability in my playoffs. Let's see if we can squeeze in a couple more questions. I'll probably end the stream in about 3 minutes. So if you have any more questions, just bombard me with them as fast as you can, and I'll be as fast as I can. 2. I lost my question. I had one right. Where was it? We have Cam Newton, Cam, or Jameis. $15.7, 14.1, 41% chance of outscoring this, and 77% chance of outscoring 15.7. Much higher floor for Cam, higher ceiling, no brainer, Cam. Even though he's facing a difficult opponent, I like to start the better quarterback, or at least a better fantasy quarterback. Okay, Jeff, we got Jarvis, Landry, Ty, Doug. Ty has a -1 point floor. Whew. Yeah, no, that impacts my decision making too much to start Ty. I'm starting Jarvis Landry in that group. 4.8 floor is pretty incredible actually for him this year. Seeing as the quarterback he's been playing with, like, you never know what's gonna show up, and he's still producing 4.8 points as his worst game scenario. Yeah, Jarvis Landry out of that group. Do I have another question lined up, or should that be the? We can do Matt Ryan or Derek Carr too. And then we have Dion Lewis in the same question, and Christian McCaffrey. Did I spell that wrong? Christian McCaffrey. Sorry about that. what are we doing? We're doing Matt. This is way too late. Matt Ryan. That week is okay. We got Dion Lewis or Christian McCaffrey. Move them up so we can see better score projection, much lower probability, much higher floor, higher ceiling, a little lower but much better there. I'm starting McCaffrey out of those two. Whoops. McCaffrey. Yeah, but hasn't he got like majority of his points from 3 games or something like that? He's saved my team twice though this year, but he's also killed me a couple of times. Ty is just, he's fun to watch though. He's fun, really fun to watch. But I think I'm gonna call it a day there. I need to set my fantasy lineups actually. So thank you very much for joining me, Jeff, Jordan. Thank you for asking questions in the chat. Thank you everyone on Twitter for posting questions. Thank you for sending the questions in during the week and also today. I hope I've answered everything and not missed any question at all. I'm gonna try to do this the entire fantasy playoff, so you just keep sending questions. If you want them answered before Thursday, be sure to get them in before I think it's 5 p.m. Eastern time. After that, I'm unavailable on Thursday Night Football, unfortunately. But other than that, I keep answering everything I get on Twitter at CSD Fantasy. And as always, the spreadsheets are dark and full of terror.